Kris here with another quick tip for you all. In this video, we're going to continue our look at using Citadel Contrast paints to create an Alha Legion color scheme. Now, this is Alha Legion out of the 40k codex, not the 30k variety of Alha Legion. And just like before, we're going to use Achillean Green and Warp Lightning. We're going to go about this in a two-brush blend method, and as you can see, the model here has been given a base coat of Runefang steel. That's what we're doing here. And basically, I laid a gloss black prime on this, and then laid Runefang steel, and this was the Citadel Air variety, so I applied this by airbrush. But if you can find a nice bright silver to lay down on the body, go ahead and do that. Should work just fine. You can see the first shoulder pad. I initially laid it down quite sparingly when I'm doing a two-brush blend here, and so on this shoulder pad I'm doing a much heavier blend of more color, and I actually kind of prefer this method as this kind of works with the contrast and how they're kind of intended how to apply to a model surface. As you can see, you're going to get the nice little surface action where it creeps into the details. And here I'm just basically laying the green right on the high points, and then coming in with the Achillean Green and blending it and leaving just a little bit of that green on the high points. And essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm just having a bit of fun. Anybody who was curious about how these colors blend together, or not particular colors, but how the contrast colors themselves blend, they blend just fine as long as your under base coat is nice and bright. Here you can see I'm going back over the shoulder pad, again blending those colors and just getting a much deeper tone and just kind of balancing the whole model out. And so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to continue working around the model. So here again, I'm laying the green on the high points and then coming in with the Achillean Green and blending up into it. So you can see on the knee there was already green there, and then I've just simply blended this color into that, leaving just a little bit of that green behind. Here you can see just on the thigh, the knee, and the toe. Then come in with the Achillean Green and just kind of blend and have fun with it. If you've never wet blended, this is a two-brush blend that I'm demonstrating here. If you've never tried it before, maybe this is the opportunity to give that kind of technique a try, and allows you to see how brushstroke does matter when you are applying colors in this fashion. So we're going to set it aside, allow it to dry. We're going to come in with some Citadel Layer Warpstone Glow. This is the regular opaque color. Stormhost Silver is next, and we're going to mix these. It's sort of like 1-to-1, but it's probably less than 1-to-1. It's probably more silver than it is Warpstone Glow. I basically lay the two beside each other and blend the silver into the green until I get a tone of green that I like. Basically, I'm making a green metallic, and I'm going to just go around and edge any of the little high points around the model with this green silver. Again, I'm trying to take care here in some areas to kind of get something kind of cool looking. Again, with the brighter silver, if you recall with the previous example of Alha Legion, the armor was quite dark looking, whereas this one, the camera really doesn't do it justice. This is actually quite bright, and there is a fair amount of green at play, but that's personal as to how much blue and green you want to mix together and have this kind of two-tone. It actually kind of gives a bit of the impression of a color shifting paint. If anybody's ever seen any of that metallic paint that shifts colors, this almost has that kind of impression. It doesn't do it, but it gives it that slight impression of that. And of course, once the edges are clear, you can pretty much see that that's Alha Legion. We just do the shoulder pads in silver, and you're pretty much done. Here's a side-by-side of the two, so I'll let you guys determine which one you prefer and which way you kind of like. The one on the right is nice and contrasty. The one on the left is much more metal, shiny, whichever way you want to talk about it. And of course, you could always throw a gloss on the left-hand guy, but that is it. That is Alha Legion using the contrast paint system on top of metals.